Hi, I'm Leroy Chiao,
And I'm Jamie Sunkel.
and welcome to another OneOrbit Leadership Moment.
All right, so today we're talking about SpaceX. So I don't know if everyone saw, but SpaceX just recently had a huge first. So they just launched their first government satellite, and Dr. Chow is going to talk about the significance of that and what's going on in the new space business.
Right, so not only did SpaceX very recently do a U.S. government launched a large U.S. government NRO satellite, they also recovered the first stage booster again. So they're on a roll with that. But the first may have been lost on a lot of people. The fact that SpaceX is now certified and has now successfully launched a U.S. government satellite, a significant big one, that means they are now primed to take over that market. Originally, and for the past several decades, as you probably know, U.S. Government, of course, has to buy from U.S. providers when it can. Well, there's been a monopolist, basically, that has owned this market. Their launchers are very reliable, but they're also very expensive. And now SpaceX has basically shown that they can do it for a fraction, maybe a fourth or even a fifth of the cost that had been going on. So this shows the huge potential of innovation and thinking on your feet, and also shows the importance that even if you are the default, even if you do have a so-called monopoly, you can't afford to sit back and rest on your laurels.
Wow. So, Dr. Chow, did you ever see anything like this happen when you were at NASA?
No, at NASA, I mean, since NASA was created, we've relied on large government contractors to build hardware, help with design, things like that. And that's the NASA model, kind of the NASA paradigm. Only in the last 10 or so years has commercial space companies and space efforts really come of age, if you will. And so this is kind of a huge deal. And once you see these industries being disrupted and stood on their head, frankly, big aerospace didn't think upstarts like SpaceX could do it. Frankly, they didn't think they could do it. They might be able to get a few launches off, but they would never be certified to launch U.S. government payloads, and now that's no longer true.
Did you think that Elon would do it?
I knew he would. I mean, once he got the Falcon 9 flying, and he had been so successful, even with launching NASA cargo to the space station, now, it's just a matter of time before he got certified to launch, U.S. Air Force and U.S. government satellites, which is big business, big, huge business.
So let's kind of transition a little bit away from the space industry. Do you think that all industries are vulnerable to this type of disruption? And what do you think needs to happen in the future? So what's your...
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you look at what's happened with ride-sharing services like Uber, Lyft, and even some smaller ones, they've turned the taxi market on its head, right? And so you've seen a huge disruption there. You've seen Airbnb starting to make inroads and turn the hotel industry on its head, right? And so it's not just about tech, though. I mean, there are other industries where just creative thinking can disrupt the whole thing. So with SpaceX, they didn't invent anything new. They didn't invent the rocket. But they figured out how to make it more inexpensive and just as reliable to disrupt this huge market that was once thought to be untouchable. So it just goes to show you, no matter what business you're in, you cannot afford to sit back and relax. You got to keep thinking. You have to keep looking what's on the forefront and what's coming, and you've got to play devil's advocate all the time with yourself to keep this from happening to you.
Wow. And so you're an entrepreneur, and I'm an entrepreneur. So how has this type of thinking, how do you think it's affected our business, our OneOrbit?
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, OneOrbit started because of this kind of thinking. Jamie and I, we both had some ideas on how we could be doing these kinds of programs better. We kind of pitched them to folks that we were working with at the time, and they frankly weren't interested. So we decided to go off and do it ourselves. And I tell you what, it's been beyond my wildest dreams the way that things have been accelerating, and that kind of innovative thinking made this possible.
And can you talk a little bit more about OneOrbit?
Oh, sure. OneOrbit, of course, we provide corporate keynotes and training, leadership training, things like that. But we also do education programs and teacher professional development and support summer STEM camps and all kinds of things. So we basically are out there using the excitement of space exploration as a backdrop for all different activities, inspiring the next generation and helping companies grow and be better.
Awesome. And what do we have? What's up next for us?
Well, we're going to be going out of the country pretty soon, down under to the southern hemisphere. We've got some trips in Asia planned, some programs out there. So we are becoming very international, and it's all very exciting.
Awesome, awesome. And our tagline that we always tell all of our communities is make the most of your one orbit. And we're talking about this one go around in life. And we can't wait to continue to connect with our friends and our audience. And I hope you enjoyed this one orbit leadership moment.
All right. Thank you, everyone.